This is David with the Liberty Defensive Firearms Training Institute. What I want to talk about today is good cigars. These are Gurkhas. This is a good cigar. Thank you, Dwayne. We'll put that down for now. What I want to go over with today is the defensive pistol. The first and foremost item you're going to need at our training class. Alright, I prefer the Glock. Okay, Glocks are simple in design. They're meant to be used in combat situations. These are not target guns per se. They're defensive firearms or offensive depending on what role you're using them in. This one has been cleared. There's no chambered round, no magazine. Okay, this weapon is inert. Alright, this gun is bone stock other than the sights. Okay, I haven't modified this firearm in any way other than putting bullets in it since I've bought it, except to change the sights. I use XS big dot sights, and that's the only thing I've done different to this firearm. These happen to be the tritium ones for low light. It helps my eye to pick up the sight in low light. But don't buy an expensive target gun for a carry gun. If you wind up using this firearm or yours in a defensive situation, once the police arrive, they're going to seize that firearm, okay? Because it's evidence in a potential homicide, okay? Until they clear you, that gun's evidence, and it's going to go to the evidence room. All right, you may never get it back, okay? Just be ready for that. So, a good firearm, but don't spend a bunch of money upgrading it, because if you wind up using it, you just lost it. You might as well just kind of gone. I prefer the Glocks, Smith & Wesson M&P series. The Sig Sauers are good guns, but you got to find one that shoots straight. The last two we've messed with have shot low, pretty bad too. I'm not a proponent of 1911s. I own one, but I do not carry it for a defensive firearm. That gun was engineered during a different time, okay, when craftsmen hand-fitted firearms, and you just about can't take one out of the box and it work reliably. It's just a fact. Some people get their gun out and it'll work. Well, it does now. If you have full confidence in your arm, then carry it by all means. But a defensive firearm should have simple sights like XS dots, or some kind of a Novak low profile or something of that nature, to where it's just 3 dots or a post with a dot. Notch and post sights work fine, but I have a trouble with, under rapid fire strings, the front sight will drift over behind one of the 2 sides of the rear notch area, and I'll lose that sight. Well, I don't pull the trigger till I see that front sight again, so I have to realign the gun. With these, wherever that dot's at close quarters is where the bullets go, so I don't have to really do a lot of worrying over where that sight's at. I can see it. That's why I choose big dots. But a caliber you can comfortably fire should be one you pick. Don't pick some kind of big giant caliber for a carry gun just because it's a big giant caliber. I have a detailed scientific report done by a law enforcement professional that took him years to collect the data, and this data shows beyond a doubt that the lowly 22 long rifle is just as deadly as the 44 Magnum. Okay, and he done it based on gunshot or gunfights over several years. He collected this data, and the charts are pretty almost flat when you compare cartridge to cartridge to cartridge over stopping power. It's shocking. 9mm works just as good as 45, just as good as 40. Okay, and 9's light compared to them. So choose you a good defensive pistol. The next thing, you can bring good ammunition to class if you want to. That's your choice. These are Winchester, I think they're called SSTs or SXTs, hollow point 124 grain carry ammo. That's what I carry. I train with cheap. Typically I try to find 124 grain balls so it's the same bullet weight, but I'll shoot 115 or 119. It's all about sights and trigger anyway. Sights, trigger, and follow through will get the bullets on target regardless of how heavy or light they are. The next thing you're going to use is a good holster. Okay, you're going to want a holster that has some features on it that will do the job that it's meant to do. Okay, you don't want a fancy, pretty holster. You want a functional holster. This one happens to be fancy and pretty and functional. I just got lucky. All right, you want a holster that when the gun goes in it, notice this one's even in slide lock. It still locks in. All right, it's locking on the trigger guard. See, even at slide lock, the ejection port holds it out slightly, but without the ejection port, it locks in positively, and I don't drop the firearm. Okay, now it's not as quiet as leather. Okay, but I prefer Kydex because it'll stay open. Once you draw the firearm from it, it's still open, ready to receive the firearm back in. Okay. All right. You can get leather holsters that are as good as this Kydex holster every day. Milt Sparks, is one of my favorites. But as far as versatile and cost-effective, Kydex is hard to beat in my book. Ldfti makes good holsters. There's a thousand of them out there. Raven Concealment makes them look just like this. This ain't a Raven, but get you a good holster and make sure it'll stay open and the gun will stay in it. And if it has retention, the retention works properly. Okay, so that's what I wanted to go over today. If you have any questions, go to our website, and it's at the end of the video here. And we'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Y'all keep your powder dry.